WWE has been releasing a whole bunch of wrestlers lately, and rumor is that there's more to come. Bray Wyatt may be next to go, and we're nervous. In the past some time, WWE has released tons of talented wrestlers. While the annual spring release isn't something new for the wrestling fans, the company has let go of some really good wrestlers very easily this year. And a lot of signs currently indicate that Bray Wyatt might be the next big superstar to lose his job. The rise and fall of The Fiend's character. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt might be the best gimmick WWE ever created in the past few years. At the same time, it might be the worst character fans saw in the past few years, and there are many reasons for that. When The Fiend initially debuted in 2019, he became the hottest act in wrestling. WWE was quick to respond to fans, and put Wyatt in the Universal Championship feud against Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell. Some fans believe this started the downfall of The Fiend's character because even though Wyatt showed a godly amount of strength against Rollins, he still ended up losing the match even without losing. That match did more harm to Bray's character than good as it showed the limit of The Fiend's character. He might be the next wrestler to get released. Even though Wyatt has been getting some huge storylines for the past some time, none of those rivalries had a great payoff. The Rollins feud, for instance, hurt Fiend's image, and then the match against Goldberg almost destroyed his momentum until he scored a victory against John Cena at WrestleMania 36. A few months later, at SummerSlam, Wyatt recaptured the Universal title by defeating Braun Strowman. But just a week later, he lost the belt to a returning Roman Reigns. From October 2020 to April this year, The Fiend feuded with Randy Orton. The rivalry had potential, but once again, WWE blew up the entire storyline by adding unnecessary elements to their rivalry. Wyatt even got burned up during a match against the Viper, and returned with a new look at Fastlane 2021. Fans hoped that The Fiend would finally receive a deserving victory at WrestleMania 37, and move on with the overly stretched rivalry with Orton. That was also the original plan of their match, but then, Vince McMahon changed the script just a few days before WrestleMania, and ruined the months of build-up. Since then, Bray has been absent from WWE programming, with reports citing mental health issues as the reason behind his hiatus. WWE shouldn't get all the blame. It would be really unfair to only blame WWE for ruining The Fiend's gimmick because their hands are also tied. The company tried pushing Wyatt, but he was just so overpowered that he killed Seth Rollins' momentum at Hell in a Cell 2019. So when WWE made him look weak against Goldberg, the fans complained. Bookings like these just show that WWE doesn't know what to do with Wyatt. Every program of his starts out well, but then the company loses track of everything and mishandles his character over and over again. Every few months, WWE needs to write him off the television so that they could bring him back once and repeat the same thing. They first build The Fiend's momentum, hype his next rivalry, and then they somehow always end up finding a way to ruin an otherwise perfect storyline. The future is uncertain. Vince McMahon has had released many superstars because he didn't have anything in mind for them. And everything seems to be going wrong with The Fiend. He's clearly a McMahon favorite, or else Wyatt wouldn't have gotten so many opportunities. But there's always a chance Vince could stop liking Bray suddenly, and the next thing the fans know is he's released. Wyatt will always have a chance to rebuild himself as long as the fans love him. But many have started to dislike the Fiend gimmick, and they just want the old eaters of the world, Bray Wyatt, to make his return again. The Fiend's gimmick doesn't allow too much flexibility, and that's always a bad thing in wrestling. Nobody knows how the future will unfold for Wyatt, and most likely, WWE's wondering the same. Unless the company manages to find a way to work the Fiend gimmick for a longer period, without ruining someone's character, WWE will probably give up and let him go.
Oh, let me up with a bright smile on now. Put me in the dark, so won't get lost now. To the moonlight, eyes you.